Morning. It's October 21st, Saturday. So last night I'm laying in bed several hours after I had my last vlog, week 3, published, and I'm like, damn, that was probably disjointed as hell. I had this whole segment where I was talking about the concert and all that, and I forgot to put it in. So y'all are watching it and probably going, what concert is she talking about? What? Anyway, I think you got the gist of it. But I apologize because I don't know how I missed that part, but yeah. I had a whole video that was supposed to stick in there. It didn't happen. Anyway, good morning. This is what my desk looks like every day. 1 whip, 2 whip, 3 whip, 4 whip, 5 whip. Am I missing anything? Am I missing anything? No. Oh, wait, yes. Yes, I am. 6 whip. Yeah. Swimming in yarn. It's not a bad place to be. Confession time. I broke down and bought a pattern. I know. I was doing really well this year until I got that sock book, which I'm counting as one pattern. And then I was scrolling through Ravelry, and I'm on there so much that I can usually tell if somebody's got a sale or an MCAL going on or something like that. And I'm like, there's a whole lot more than normal of Stephen West in the front few pages. So I was like, does he have a sale going on? Because as far as I can tell, he doesn't normally do sales. I could be wrong, but I don't think he normally does sales. So I was like, I know I've got like a bunch of favorited patterns, and I've never purchased anything from him. So I go on to his Instagram, and I'm like, oh, it's 35% off. I'll get one. I get one. I've got like 30 patterns that I favorited, so it was really hard to pick one. So this is what I got. Marled Mania leggings. I've been wanting to knit pants for a while, and I don't normally care how many projects a pattern has, but this one I cared because I got a big butt. I'm not gonna lie, and so I'm trying to figure out, like, how do I make pants that are gonna fit around that? So I'm hoping that having this pattern that will help. And so what I like about it is that it uses a lot of scrap. I will say that the pattern is just fitting or negative ease, and it only goes to 45 inches, and my booty is like 46. So what I might do, since it's 2 fingering weight held together for marling, I might do a DK and a fingering just to get slightly bigger gauge to fit over my booty. I'm gonna have to do a gauge swatch for sure. But this is all DK and worsted. This is all fingering, and this is all scraps. So I think it's not enough to make a pair of pants, but it's enough to get started and figure it out. So I don't know when I'm going to start this pattern. It's not going to be anytime soon. Maybe next year, probably in January or something. But yeah, so it was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. Oh, I think he saw me. Little baby. Hi, little baby. Hi, little baby. Good morning. It is October 23rd, and yesterday I finished a square. So I'm going to put a picture over so you can see what I'm doing. I laid out all of my squares, just to get an idea of how big the blanket actually is and how many more pieces I actually need. And turns out that I only need 4 more pieces for a decent size. So since I'm not doing any more cable squares because I'm just kind of over it, I am just going to do simple stuff. So this is the square that I finished yesterday. So it's really sucking in, as you can see. So I'm going to have to aggressively block this, which is fine. So hopefully it'll be 14 by 14. But what I did was I kept the borders the same. And I just did columns of knits and purls. So what I think the next one is going to be is the reverse of this, with the borders looking like that. So basically this, instead of being on the right side, will be on the wrong side, and this, instead of being on the wrong side, be on the right side. That'll take care of 2 squares. And then I don't know what I'm going to do for the other 2 yet, but I am still in the process of sewing squares together. So let me take you over to my table and turn the light on so you can see. I've got 6 squares. Yeah, I have 6 squares, not completely sewn together yet. You know, getting there. It's kind of a process. I don't like mattress stitching. I don't like sewing together, so it's just a process. So, yeah, so that's the corner. And then I'm using the heavier pieces to weight out the blanket more evenly. So this is the center of the blanket. And so what's going to happen is there's going to be another heavy square here and another heavy square over here. Then there'll be a light square in the middle. All that. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. I have started my bat socks, and as you see, there are no bats. And from the picture that I shared with you guys, there's bats all over the sock. Well, here's the thing that happened. What had happened was I cannot figure out a stitch count that will work for the entire sock for my foot according to the pattern. So I'm going through the project pages, and somebody had actually striped their socks up until after the heel and then started the bat motif. So I'm going to do the same thing. So I think I might be able to figure out stitch counts for that after. And the point that that person had made on their project page was that no one's going to see this part anyway. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. In a rare moment on this podcast, I have crochet. This is a blanket I started 2 years ago, a year ago. I only have a crochet now for blankets, and that's just to use up scrap yarn. And honestly, I'm kind of over this, and I haven't touched it in probably since last December. So I think what I'm gonna do is, this is about shawl length for me, so what is that, like 64 inches or something like that. I might just turn this into a scrappy wrap just to be done with it, because I'm kind of still going through a phase where I want to destash a lot of the yarns that people will typically use for gift knitting, so a lot of the acrylics and stuff, although there is wool in this. I'm kind of at the point where with my scraps, I'm either using them for socks or for, if it's DK weight, for that memory blanket that I think I showed a little while back. So I'm kind of done with the scrappy blankets. This one here, this rainbow one, I'm working on the second half of that, and then I'm going to join them together. So that's been using scraps. This is using scraps. I'm done with that. So I'm just going to crochet this. This is single crochet. I'm just going to crochet this until it's a good width. Yeah, width for a wrap. And then maybe with the rest of whatever's left, which I don't think there'll be anything left, honestly. There's not a whole lot in my bag. This is my bag. If you like scrappy bags, Stitches by Laura, I'll link her down below. I have nothing but good things to say about Stitches by Laura. So check out her work. Handmade Buyer's Market. I've just got like, a lot of this is tangled. It's a nightmare. Yeah. And there's more. I could probably use that for socks. So yeah, I've got this whole bag full of scraps. But I think it'll be enough for a wrap. So I'm swimming in, I'm doing two strands at a time. And I'm just swimming in string. But I was working on my cardigan, and I've been kind of feeling like working on this blanket a little bit. So I'm gonna do that for an hour or so, and then I will probably go back to my cardigan. Or something other whip that's on my table. We'll see. Oops. I thought these were single crochets. No, these are half double crochets. And I found this out after doing like 3 rows. I'm like, why is this gapey? Oh, okay. I'm not ripping it out. I don't care. This is scrap. It doesn't matter. It's not that serious. I think I also forgot to mention that I'm using, I don't even know what brand this is. This is really old. It's an eye hook. 9mm eye hook. H-I-J. Isn't the J an 8mm? I don't know. But it says I. And I've had this hook for years and years and years. Since I was a teenager. I don't think I've bought hooks in 20 years. I've had all my hooks since I was 14, 15 years old. No, I might have bought some when I was 19 or 20. Whatever. It was a long time ago. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to this now. Can you look up? There you go. You beautiful boy. You beautiful boy. Good morning. It's Tuesday the 24th. And I'm doing a little bit of shop work, which I can't stand doing shop work. But it made me remember to talk about, I have a newsletter, if you don't know. And I just started it about a month ago. I'm trying for realsies this time. I should have probably had this a long time ago. But if you join my newsletter, you get 35% off in the shop. So just something to think about. And speaking of the shop, I have quite a few colors that will not be coming back. So I'm going to put this down for a second and look at my computer so I can tell you exactly what is going away. Hint of Spring is going away. It is a yellow DK untreated merino, and it has like little spots of like very light pastel green in there. So that's going away. For some reason, geez, oops. For some reason, even though, you know, a lot of people are wanting to move to untreated merino, it doesn't sell in my shop. I don't know why. Maybe it's the colors. I don't know. Anyway, so that's going away. I've got some scarves that are going away. You know what I'll do? I think I'll put pictures up so you can see them. while I'm talking about that. So Hint of Spring will be right here. And then I've got this knitted scarf that is, it's striped and lace. So like the striped part that's garter is like a blue black, and then the lace part is yellows and creams and light blues. And that'll be going away next month. And that's really more for last minute gifts. And it's on Etsy, so like people who don't knit, who need a gift or something like that. It's superwash merino. But throw a picture up there. What else is going away? Crescent shaped shawl that is made out of superwash merino. That will be going away. I've got a triangle shaped striped shawl that's in red and black. That will be going away. All these are superwash merino. What else? I've got a striped shawl. If you're a knitter and you're on Ravelry a lot, you probably already know some of these patterns anyway. I've got a striped shawl that is also merino. That's going away. A lot of these are going away by November 10th. So if you want them, use your 35% discount code by joining the mailing list and get yourself a shawl or some yarn. I've got an alpaca crocheted shawl. I'll put up here. It's very, very large. Very large and in charge. And that will be going away. I've got 3 skeins of MCN that will be going away. I don't think I ever gave those a color name. I don't think so, but it's gray with a multicolor on it. So like the background is gray, and then you've got pink and teal, and I think there's some purple in there, and it's sport weight. So that's going away. That would be the 17th that is going away. These dates that they're going away are just the dates that they expire on Etsy. So I'm trying not to kick my baby over here. So that's just something to keep in mind. And then that's it for the month of November. And if you're on my newsletter, you'll also get a notice about that as well, because I put a section on the bottom monthly. That's my plan anyway. Anything that's going away for that month, it'll be on the bottom of that newsletter. Yeah, I figured I'd mention that while I'm working on stuff. So, there you go. I hope you're having a great day. Oh, by the way, I started watching a new podcast. They're out of Florida. Crafty Bees Florida knitting podcast. Anyway, they're beekeepers who also knit. And so they're, they end every segment talking about their bees and honey and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I've got all this honey in my... I'm trying to figure out what to do with my honey, because I don't really eat honey. I just have it because it's something you should probably have, right? So I get on Pinterest. I'm like, what can I do with honey? So they're sparking this idea is why I bring them up. So I started putting honey in my coffee like this morning. Y'all. I mean, maybe some of you already do this, but that's really good. It's very smooth. Now, I don't normally put sugar in my coffee, but this is, I don't remember the full name, but it's Thai. There's a lot of, I can get a lot of different types of coffee where I am. And so this one store that I went to that's local in East Nashville, they have coffee from everywhere. And so I picked up a Thai coffee, and I found it to be very bitter, but I was telling my son about it, and he was like, that's why they put they have a lot of recipes with their coffee that has a lot of sweet in it. And I was like, well, I guess that makes sense. Anyway, honey, game changer. Just saying. Get those antioxidants in your coffee. Hello, it is Wednesday, October 24th, and today I'm making soup. It's like 16 bean soup mix with greens that I saved and froze from my garden in the last couple of years. Yes, I do keep stuff in the freezer that long, which is why I'm making soup and using it up. And what else am I doing? I'm going to try to clean my mantle today because it's in a sad state of affairs. Yeah. And I am almost to the heel on my baddie socks. And after the heel, that's when I'm going to do the stitch count to start the motif for the bats. Don't know if I'm going to get to that part today, but I definitely want to turn the heel today on these socks. So at least that part will get done. I haven't really finished anything else since that square. Oh, I should probably show you what the blocked square looks like. So this is the blocked square. It came out really nice, and it no problems with measuring and all that. So yeah, so I just need to make another one. I have not done that yet because as soon as I was done with this, that was when I cast it on the socks. It was right around the same time. Still in the middle of sewing in squares. So that's going to be a process. But when I do make my, when I do start another square, this is going to be, it's going to look like this, basically. It's going to be the reverse of this. And I haven't decided what I'm going to do for the last two squares after that. But those are the plans for today. So soup is almost done. I've added the greens. So is there a recipe? No. And actually, I was talking to my mom yesterday about soup because she was talking about a soup that she was getting ready to make. And neither one of us use a recipe. Like literally, maybe it comes from the Depression. I don't know. But we save all of our bean broth, all of our canned broth, all of that stuff that people just throw away because for some weird ass reason they think that it's disgusting. We save all that stuff, throw it into a pot. That's your base. And you put in onion and garlic. And I usually just do 1 onion and like 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. Mince that, throw that in. And then just whatever base I want. So this one just has half a bag of 16 bean soup mix without the pork packet because I don't do that here. And some greens that I've had frozen, and then I always find that tomato adds a good flavor to most of my soups. So I will, this one has sauce that I made a couple years ago from my garden. And then I threw carrots in here I need to get rid of, pumpkin that was from my garden I needed to get rid of, a little bit of balsamic because, believe it or not, balsamic will give a slightly meaty taste to your soup, so give that a try. Usually about half a tablespoon is what I put in. And so I'm going to taste test this soon to see what else I need to put in there because I have not put any seasonings in here yet just because I have all the flavor from the broths and the sauces and this, that, and the other. So I'm going to taste it and see if I need to add any of that. I'm sure I will. I do have French gray salt in here as a seasoning. And that's it. And I'm not to toot my own horn, but you know, I've been on this planet for a minute, and I can count on one hand how many times my soups came out bad. And people love our soups, and we just throw crap together. So it's just easy as that. Just experiment. Not everything has to be a recipe. Just experiment. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. You know what's sad is that I really want to knit a pumpkin sweater. October's over, so it wouldn't be done in time anyway, and I don't knit seasonally, but I really want to knit a pumpkin sweater. And I came still from my own stash, my own inventory, because I don't have enough of anything to make a sweater. And I don't want to dye up yarn just to make a sweater. Like, how does this even happen? I don't know. It's occurred to me that you're probably confused as to why I'm knitting the bat socks and not the coffee break socks. So I'm pretty sure I said I was going to do the coffee break socks next. And you see, what had happened was that I was getting ready to cast on the coffee break socks, and as I'm doing my cast on, I'm like, this yarn is really thin. So I look at it, and I'm comparing it to like fingering weight yarn that I know for a fact is fingering weight, because I was assuming that the other one was fingering weight, and it probably is, but it was really light fingering weight. And so I was like, that's not gonna work. I mean, it probably could, but I really have to fudge the numbers now that I think about it. And I wasn't gonna do that. So then I just went through all of my yarn trying to figure out, okay, well, I really want to cast on some socks, right? So played around, colors and all the different kinds of things. And then I came across this skein, and you can see the sparkle in here, that I got at Smart Supply, and it is Yarn Love. Hey, I used that as a hashtag, that's funny. And it's merino, silk, nylon, and 2% stellina. And it's called Turtle Candy. And I have one skein left of my pink champagne on ice that I discontinued. And that has sparkle in it too. And this is merino, nylon, lurex. So these are going to be my coffee break socks after I'm done with the bat socks. I'm debating whether or not I want to do a pop of color though, because there is a pop of color at the beginning and end of the motif for the coffee break socks and on the toe. If I find something in my stash that goes well. If not, I'm not going to worry about it. It's like an added thing, but it doesn't have to be there. So I may or may not put that in there. So yeah, just in case you're confused as to why I stopped talking about that, I forgot that I changed plans and didn't let you know. So now you know. These are going to be the coffee break socks. Okay, that'll probably be, I just finished the heel today, and now I'm doing stitch counts to get them to where I need to be for the motif. So what's tomorrow? Thursday? Actually, I think they'll be done by Halloween. I don't see why not. So November 1st, November 2nd, I will start the coffee break socks. Sometime around that. Yeah. I'm going to sign off now. So I want to show you my progress on the square blanket. So this is a picture of it laid out, and then I've got that empty corner that I'm working on, and then I have 3 more squares that I need to knit up and then sew all that together. So I'm hoping maybe in a month I'll be done with that blanket. That'll be pretty awesome. And I went to my favorite coffee shop this morning, and they're still only open 3 days a week. So if you're in the Smyrna area, go check them out. Carpe Cafe. They're at the train depot. It's pretty easy to find. Parking, if you're wondering about parking, if you've never been there before, there is a storage facility right there at the depot. You can park in that parking lot. They don't care. And to the other side of it, there is a parking lot that you can go into as well. And you can park there all day. It's all free. So far, even though we have people moving in, it's still free. So, but yeah, that is it. So, I don't know what I'm going to do for November. I might do a couple vlogs and then just go back to my podcasting. So we'll see. So I'm probably not going to have anything the first week of November, maybe the second week of November. And I may do a Vlogmas, but it depends on my social life. Because I really don't get out of the house, as you can tell, probably from these vlogs the past month. I don't really go anywhere. And Christmas is supposed to be, well, the holidays, I should say, because I don't know what you're affiliated with. The holidays are supposed to be festive. So if I'm not going anywhere, where's the festivity? So, yeah. Anyway, have a great Halloween if you celebrate. Eat some candy if you eat that. I'm going to have a couple of those new green filled Snickers and whatever the heck they came out with. That's what I'm putting out this year. They get 2 bags of candy. I put out a sign in a bowl because I can't, honestly, I'm sorry, I can't people. So I just put out a sign that says, feel free to take some. And, 4 years, 5 years in a row, it's gone pretty good. So that's what I do every year. Anyway, so have a good rest of the weekend, and I will see you in a couple weeks. Bye.